What if the greatest act of love was aimed at the very people trying to destroy you? Or what if the most rebellious thing you could possibly do was just to think about escape? Today, we're looking at some really powerful moments from Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys. Here are some of the most thrilling viral snippets from the book, just enough to really pique your curiosity. Okay, let's explore this first one. You've got unimaginable cruelty. And then this character, Elwood, he's wrestling with this huge moral question. But here's what nobody quite expected: the sheer weight of that expectation.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, how Whitehead, in Chapter 7, really gets into Elwood's head about Dr. King's teachings. The line is, "It was impossible, like loving the one who wanted to destroy you, but that was the message of the movement, to trust in the ultimate decency that lived in every human heart." I mean, that's not just a line that really distills the core conflict, this paradox, holding on to forgiveness when you're facing such brutal systemic violence.
Wow, that's an incredibly tough thing to ask of someone, isn't it? To trust decency in people who are actively hurting you. It makes you really question how you'd keep your own humanity.
And that actually leads us right into another key moment.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Picture this: a place where even the smallest thought, like a fleeting idea of freedom, is seen as defiance. The book shows something pretty shocking about dehumanization.
Right. It makes you ask, well, how far can that go? Chapter 3 puts it so starkly. To forbid the thought of escape, even that slightest butterfly thought of escape, was to murder one's humanity.
Ugh.
It's powerful because it shows the fight isn't just against, the physical beatings and all that. It's about stopping that internal crumbling, that loss of hope, the ability to even imagine better, that butterfly thought. It's about keeping that tiny spark of inner freedom alive.
That metaphor, the butterfly thought, it just perfectly captures that quiet inner resilience, doesn't it? It makes you wonder about recovery. How do you recover from that kind of attack on your very soul? But that's just the beginning. And hey, if you like these kinds of discussions, this is Mindful Moments. Check out our YouTube channel. We offer AI book analysis, summaries, critiques, all aimed at sparking reflection and, rational thought. Okay, moving on. What happens when the past literally refuses to stay buried? For Turner, another character, there's a shocking discovery, and it forces him to really face himself. But here's what he realized about how he'd been coping.
Yeah, connecting that to the bigger picture. The book tracks Turner's journey. He goes from pushing everything down, repression, to this really painful kind of acceptance. He used to see his old classmates, the ones struggling, as pathetic. But then he has this moment. He realizes that he's the one who's been mishandling his trauma. By just holding on to everything, all the emotions, Turner basically tied himself to sadness, made it impossible to ever really sort through it. And discovering those unmarked graves, that's the peak of this realization. It really hits home, the cost of burying trauma, burying history.
That just opens up so many questions, doesn't it, about memory and justice and how we as a society deal with painful history or fail to. It's like what you push down always comes back up eventually. Yeah. But that's just the beginning. Okay, let's unpack this. Nonviolent resistance, can it truly wear down an oppressor, even in the absolute darkest situations? This book shows an almost unbearable cost to that kind of hope.
Well, what's really striking here is how Elwood's words, they really echo Dr. King, don't they? It crystallizes the book's whole engagement with nonviolence. He says, "Throw us in jail and we will still love you. We will wear you down by our capacity to suffer, and one day we will win our freedom."
I mean, wow. It's provocative, it's so emotionally heavy, it shows the incredible strength needed, but also the almost impossible sacrifice involved in that philosophy. It really challenges how we think about endurance and victory.
Definitely challenges our understanding. Watch the full episode for the stunning conclusion on that. And finally, in a place designed to just break people down, can friendship actually save you? The book reveals this quiet, almost devastating power of human connection. If we connect this to the bigger picture, that bond between Elwood and Turner is so central. You have Elwood's optimism, Turner's sort of gritty pragmatism, both shaped by this shared trauma. It fuels so much the emotional heart of the story. The book says it simply. He had a friend in Turner who supported him through his struggles. And Turner, he risked absolutely everything, his own fragile chance at a future, to try and save Elwood. It's just this powerful example of how connection can be a lifeline, source of strength, when everything else is trying to crush you.
It seems like such a simple line. He had a friend. But yeah, it carries so much weight, doesn't it? A reminder that even in the worst places, that need for connection, it's a powerful, life-affirming thing. But that's just the beginning. Discover genre-based book podcasts at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.